let the people know a little bit about what you got going on and what's new right now for Danza, man.
First off, I just want to say I appreciate you as well. I've been a big fan for a long time of all the shit you've been doing for many, many years. I seen you start getting into the podcast game, and I was, off top, I was like, hell yeah, let's get into it. You always give good. You always give great whenever you step to the forefront of things. So
appreciate it.
Hell yeah, I'm glad to be here. As far as Danza goes, if you don't know me, I'm just an artist out of Seattle. That I've been doing my thing for a long time, just trying to make my mark as far as, independent hip-hop. I'm really in that kind of what you would call like a West Coast throwback, kind of retro, kind of vintage cocaine rap, maybe you want to call it something like that. But just, trying to stick to my passion and make what I like and just help pioneer, the independent wave that's going on right now. And so young.
What's your influences that kind of got you going and started to, wanting to pursue the music?
As far as my style and the records that I pick, it's an easy call. They're pretty much just records that I grew up with in the house, right? What your parents play, what you just are living life to. And so all these records, I know them from childhood. Going back and just feeling the nostalgia of waking up on Saturday morning or cleaning the house before your family comes over or getting ready to go out or whatever, I just know these records, they're in my skin. So getting back, flipping through these records for samples and having the energy that we get on is second nature for me. And I really, really tried to stick to my sound through all the bends and turns of all the pop trends and things like that. We all, as an artist, I think sometimes we try to guess what the next hot thing is going to be or go with the sound because it's working or because we like it, or whatever it may be. And I tried to really not bend too far out of what I decided to be my thumbprint, with this. So I've tried to really take pride and honor in that because there were some times where they weren't checking for that, and I stuck to my guns and stayed with it, and enabled me to really hone in my sound to where it is today.
Being the guy wasn't as easy as it is now and obtainable, right? Like you had to stand out, you had to be different, you couldn't sound like the next guy, you couldn't have the next guy's flow, which I think now in the more modern times we adopt the sounds of like what's popping, and you hear a lot of people kind of emulate that sound. So it's me being somebody who kind of prided himself on the way that I created my sound as well. I know that it's a hard journey sticking to your guns because there's those nights where you're like, fuck, is this not working?
It don't ever work until it works.
Until it work, bro.
It don't ever work.
That consistency gotta be there, and you gotta kind of put yourself in a type of mentality to know, like, yo, I'm sticking to this because I believe in it much.
You have to be so content and you have to believe in yourself so much to make it through that because it's not gonna work. It's 100% not gonna work. Right. And you gotta keep going until you polish it and fail a bunch of times and get back to the drawing board and figure out how do you figure out to make it work without abandoning the ship and doing something else.
You got a musical background, or what kind of drew you to music? Like,
I don't think so. My grandfather played the trumpet and he was on the radio, but my dad really wasn't musically inclined. But I don't know. I come from a Filipino background, and the one thing that I do know Filipinos do is they're just really good at catching on to things fast. I know like my dad could hear. I remember there was a Stevie Wonder, Ribbon in the Sky, and he had a keyboard and just he started figuring out the notes and replayed it, and sooner or later he knew how to play the song on the piano. Right. And I saw him do that in real time. But besides that, he was just a crazy music fan. He was always just played all
a
the cuts,
music junkie,
always
yeah.
making mixtapes for Christmas for everybody. Before you could buy, before they had CDs or anything like that, he would put all the hot songs on one tape, pass them out for Christmas presents. So we always had all the records, we had all the CDs. I always just had access to all this music at a young age.
Dope.
And I just knew all the cuts.
Right.
So I started getting into it and just figuring out, you know, like, these are keys to the city. You know what I'm saying? When you know the good music, you know how to move a room, you know how to, you start just learning all this stuff from music, then started digging in the credits. Why does this song sound like this? Who's producing this? And started like matching things up and just started going crazy. Like, oh, I love it.
Right. Hey, that's dope. In the Filipino background, that made one of my partners growing up, he was Filipino, man. Shout out to Brody. But he got into making beats. Crazy story. I'm at Dog's house one night. He fucks with samples and shit, so he gets these records or whatnot. I'm a crazy Lupe Fiasco fan, right? So one of my favorite songs is Kick Push. And I'm at Dog's crib, and we about to walk outside. We about to go smoke and shit, and we coming out, and his mom is like cleaning up or something in the crib, but she's playing music, right? And then that's when I found out that sample for Kick Push is a Filipino folklore song.
Stop.
And that whole shit, that's a Filipino folklore song and shit like that. But that's
shout out to my flips.
That's
Let's
how I
go,
figured
baby.
that out, though. Like, that shit is dope. All right, man. If you've seen the show before, man, you know we like to start the show off with a quick segment. It's called Red Pill, Blue Pill. Red pill being one scenario, blue pill being another scenario, and then, we'll choose out of that. All right, red pill. You wake up with $1 million. Just a nice little meal in something light. Blue pill gives you one superhuman power. Which one you going with?
Off the top of me, on blue pill. I don't even know what the superhuman power is, but I'm gonna figure out how to get the million easy. If I got a superhuman power,
what would it be? Well, to double down on that, what would the superhuman power be, and what would you do to obtain the money?
Oh my goodness, I don't even know. I mean, going the easy way out, if I could just be invisible, like that's the easy one. I can sneak in and get to wherever I need to go. That's the easy way out. I don't think that's too thought-provoking or make good for a good conversation, but I don't know.
Invisibility, but I mean, shit, I'd take that. I'd have to be able to cloak it on and off, though.
Oh, absolutely.
If I was invisible to everybody forever, and then you just got to live your life lonely and invisible,
no,
that would be crazy. Dating apps or meeting by chance?
Meeting by chance.
Why is that?
I've been with my old lady for so long, I never even got a chance to get into dating apps, so I'm just going to say that by default.
Great answer. Great answer. Okay, loved or feared?
Loved.
Why is that?
Because fear can only go so far, and a lot of times when people lead by fear, at some point, it runs out. The love, anyone that is moved by fear just doesn't know how to love yet. So, you know what I'm saying? There's levels to this shit, and they ain't got to that level yet.
That's a bar. That's a fucking bar. Okay, work for money or work for a cause?
Work for a cause, but we need that money, though.
You need that
cause, but we need that bag, though.
Okay, people or pets?
People.
That's easy. I'll take people, too. Okay, take away Christmas or birthdays?
Christmas.
I think I'm gonna go Christmas too, even though I feel like the Grinch taking that shit away a little bit. But you got your birthday, man, so you'll be all right. You'll be all right. See the future or change the past? We ask the tough questions on the Slept On podcast.
Man, that's a Marty McFly one. I don't see the future.
That's a tough one for me. I'm kind of on the fence with that. You get what I'm saying? But the past is there, and seeing the future, boy.
I definitely think like mistakes have happened. I'm one of those guys that don't think everything happens for a reason. You have to say that because it happened. You're like, yeah, everything will play out with it. But nah, there's been some fuck ups and some smudges that happen in history. Like I would love to go back and you know and help shit out. But we are creatures of of adversity and you know evolution. So when something happens to us that makes us stronger, that's us learning how to be better. So you know there's a positive out of that.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer. Would you rather go through your whole life being the most hilarious person or the most intelligent person?
Easy, hilarious.
Yeah?
Easy, yeah.
And why is that?
Because there's a lot of intelligence in comedy. Like when you're funny, you're usually a smart guy. You know, when you make people laugh, it's because you're doing, you know
how to execute that shit.
Yeah, you're having a silent wink because you know what makes somebody tick and this and that. So almost all comedians are very intelligent. So I get a 2-for-1 on that one. We're going intelligent, or we're going hilarious, and then we get both of them.
Okay, bad. Your top 5.
I think Ho's got to be one.
Okay, I'll take.
I just respect it. I love the lines. He's one of the first ones that made me listen to rapping outside of the beat. I'm a beat first guy, always have been. If I don't like the beat, I usually change the song. When I started listening to Jay back in the day, just because he was speaking on things that I didn't know about or just thought provoking, and like I'll stick around and see what he says before I change the track.
Yeah, subject matter.
Yeah. Let's go. I'm gonna throw Jadakiss in there.
Kiss.
I'm gonna put 40 as my West Coast giant.
Feezy, Fonzarese, okay.
Huge E40 fan. And then I'll do Cameron and Messy Marv.
Cameron and Messy. That's a good list. Okay, give me your top 5 local. Stir shit up real quick. They're gonna be all in your DM talking shit. You didn't say me, Danza. I've known you for this long and you didn't say me, Danza.
Right.
It's all good.
I'm just gonna do it like this.
Okay.
Fatal Luciano to me is got the craziest pen.
Shout out to Brody.
And then I'm gonna say right behind him, kicking that shit with the steel blade, kitchen sharp isms, King Lee's, and I'm gonna stop right there. Them two right there got the healthiest pens to me.
I fuck with dog
in the state.
I fuck with them two right there. Them niggas is nice. Who in your life do you look up to and why?
People that are honest. People that aren't afraid to say what they feel in that moment. I don't even know who specifically, but that type of shit. All the teachers that I hated, I love them now. The ones that were assholes.
Fire. Okay. What accomplishment are you most proud of?
Producing a song for Messy Marv. That was my GOAT, a long time ago. And besides me just him being one of my favorite rappers, when I started working with him, that was to me like working with Jay-Z. So that was a huge, even though I've done stuff way beyond that, that still to me was like, you can't tell me shit now.
I got a moment like that, and mine was Cassidy. I grew up a huge Cassidy fan, like all the battles. This is back when you had to be on LimeWire and you was searching shit. I was on LimeWire searching the Cassidy and Freeway battle before they dropped it out. I was a huge but later on in life, it's called Reborn on a project called Did You Get the Message? And I got to do a record with Cassidy.
That's big. Come on, man.
Back and forth. But it's those moments that be that was one of your GOATs. Like, it's Jay-Z to you.
It's so big in your heart and your mind. Like, you've spent so many hours getting close to this energy that you know. And, like, it seems so far away. And then when you make it happen, especially when it wasn't, like, a fluke or, like, you busted the play to make it happen.
Right.
Put yourself in position and, like, just it feels good.
Yeah. I know what you feel.
My dream career, probably to be like Master P, like to be running a label of artists and just figuring out how to make their shit better and learning how to, and controlling how to make just the whole family of artists like the best they could be. I growing up, I used to love the Death Rows, the Bad Boys, the No Limits, the Cash Moneys, and having all these different energies and entities, and that
was a good time.
you love this guy and he switch over to this guy and this guy and this guy and there's somebody for everybody. I love that.
Yeah. Nah, that was a good time. Okay, what would you do if you won the lottery today?
I probably get off the rip. I take my old lady on a vacation right now. She deserves it. Like we probably go find some sun right now. It's so cold outside, and then I probably wouldn't do too much different. We'd be sitting here still making jams, still working, still throwing it at the wall.
For sure. Okay. What is a habit you like to break?
Procrastination.
Fuck yeah.
Like putting shit up.
Okay, if you could spend 24 hours with someone from any point in history, who would it be? You get to pick anybody's brain, kick it with anybody, see what the lifestyle like with anyone in time.
I'm gonna say Tina Marie. Because she grew up in an era where men kind of ran things, and she was a white girl doing funk music, and she was such a beast, and she was such a solo dolo lion, and then she had to go through all the shit with Rick James. Like I just want to know what she endured to be a champion like that. I'm a real big Tina Marie fan, so that's why I say that.
Oops. Okay, let's talk hoops. Who's your top 5?
My top 5, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go GP, just to be a homer. I'm gonna put LeBron on there. I'm gonna say White Chocolate.
Okay.
Charles Barkley, Nick Van Exel. Those are more favorites than probably the best, but
listen,
I just love those.
Nick
those
Van
players.
Exel was so slept on.
Absolutely.
He was breaking niggas damn left and right, floaties, all type of shit. His game was crazy.
Handles. He was so saucy. He was so when he come through the lanes, very, very, very silky with it. Like I didn't see too many like it.
Okay.
And I just like all these guys. I just trust them with the rock.
Tapped in with the Cat Williams shit at all?
I'll be scrolling.
Okay, what you think about it? Just your quick perspective.
I didn't get to see the whole interview. I just been seeing like all the headlines and like the little clips that I see. But I think there's a lot of truth in what Cat says, and I like Cat spilling a lot of beans on a lot of stuff. Some of the stuff I feel like maybe ain't all the way true. I'm not sure. Sometimes I feel like.
So the funny shit is, right, the things that this nigga says that sound oddly like that can't be true, the shit be true sometimes, bro. Like,
okay, so let's bust it down. Like as far as the Illuminati type stuff, you believe that the music industry is heavily ran by Illuminati?
And look, I'm gonna just run through this article that I read years ago, right? I believe it to answer your question, but there was a wild story in this article. It was talking about how in the 90s or a little bit before that, there was a group that called together a lot of artists and people of power in the industry, and they brought them into a room and they brought down this plan to influx prisons.
I seen this
through gangster rap, and there was a lot of niggas that we know that I don't want to say niggas' names to whatever, but it was in the article. The article had niggas like Dr. Dre, all of these niggas like those type figures in this room. They were saying that they were gonna use gangster rap to influence the younger generations into doing dumbass shit. So the music industry was gonna lean towards allowing more less conscious shit to be popular. Kill the drive of the willing by giving it to these goofies, right? These people who wouldn't necessarily be more talented than somebody who's obviously more talented, right?
All right.
So the plan was to use gangster rap and all of these types of things to influence niggas to go to jail, because a lot of the jails are privately owned.
Yes,
and the amount of money that they make off of niggas going to jail off of one inmate is fucking insane. So they had an objective to influence niggas to do dumb shit. Fuck the police. Now, if you hit the streets with that mentality, where is that really gonna lead you in real life? I understand what you mean by fuck what they did to us, but if you influence a child who doesn't know that struggle to live the life of fuck the police in these streets, he's gonna end up dead or in jail somehow.
You would think that if they're gonna go through all this to like mastermind this long play that's designed like that they would like, I feel like center the message like a little bit more like exactly this way, that way, rather than just be animals and act a dog.
The illusion, from what they say, the illusion is to make us think that we have free will, and that it's not. It couldn't be this elaborate. It couldn't be this elaborate. A 20, 30-year joke on us, it couldn't be this elaborate, and it really be that elaborate. You're a man of many hats, right? So I want to know, what are you doing for your mental health on a regular basis to kind of, balance everything that's going on in your life?
Man, before I even answer that, I'm just gonna say it's so heavy outside right now. Like everybody I know in my close circle, in my extended circle, is going through it, and so like this question is really hitting home, But I think the best thing that I have been doing, you can do, is one, talk about it out loud. Talk about it with your lady. Talk about it with your family. What you're going through. Spill it out on the table. Don't feel like you got to be ashamed and bottle shit in, because a lot of people are going through the same shit. Whether it's you feeling like you're being a failure or not being able to make ends meet because shit is so expensive outside right now, or because we're trapped on these phones all day, and then all of a sudden you just all the your chemical imbalance is taking off. Like, but speak about it, put it out in the air for conversation. Definitely keep active. Get a workout regimen. Make sure you get into the gym and go hoop, and try as much as you can to get away from that motherfucking phone. What you doing right now? Because I would love to hear, like,
kind of a few
health.
things that you spoke upon, bro. Like, I've been finding myself in the gym a lot. I want to say about 2 years ago, I had ended up getting COVID, and started fucking me up for real, like my joints and different things, right? And at that point, I went through a state, I was getting real heavy. The heaviest I ever been, it was like 215, some wild shit like that. Like right now, I'm down to like 183, somewhere in between there. But I've just been working on myself. Like, I've been in the gym, I'm hooping all the time. I've always used music as an outlet. That's how I even started beginning rapping. The things that, if you're hip on my music, a lot of the things, the subject matter, there's substance there, because these are just my feelings about things and shit like that. And naturally, you know what I'm saying? I'm not making music for the consumer to be like, what do they want to hear? I'm just talking about what I'm going through in this format.
Right.
So music was used for that. And then I use these platforms like this, bro. We were speaking off camera, but like my immediate circle, who I am for them, is usually this person. What's going on with you? How you been? We having, thought-provoking conversation. And it's not only something that gets a release from them, it does something for me too. I get perspective. Whether I'm talking to you or I'm talking to a woman that's going through something that I might have heard my girl say, but because it's too connected, I didn't hear it the right way. So now I can hear a perspective from a woman I don't have any attachments to, and get her perspective, and she might say something that, and now I get something over here that benefits what I can do for my lady.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So I've been taking these conversations in stride and using this as a sense of therapy too.
Hell yeah, because they out there asking for it, man. Everybody's looking for you. I feel like a lot of people are lost right now, and they're out there asking, how do we keep going?
And this is it. Nobody has the answer. There's not one person who has the answer, but we have to dialogue. And hey, I tried this, you try it. Oh, what did you try? Oh, I tried that. Okay, let's combine it.
Right.
And then maybe make a certain type of system that we can pass on to him when we run into him and say, what are you doing? And he has something he's doing different, you know?
Yeah.
And we build this stew or, you know, a pot of gumbo in a sense of mental things to do to help get us through this life, because we don't have the answers necessarily.
I also feel like there's like a false sense of like reality of what people expect their lives to be as a normal, healthy, successful life. And I try to always voice my opinion on like, it don't got to be like that. Well, your walk of life it doesn't have to match up to guys over here on the internet, and try to just humanize myself. Because people look up to me, I want to humanize myself and let them know, like it's not wrong to, walk and live in your steps.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't feel like you have to do something because that's what you've seen or that's what it's supposed to be. There's nothing that's supposed to be anything.
Before we get out of here, man, you want to let the people know to look out for anything you got going on, where they could find you at to support what you got going on?
Yeah, man, I keep adding to the catalog. I'm going to say right now, Danza, the catalog is the most dangerous, independent catalog that you ever didn't know about. If you don't know about it, there's jams all over the place.
Come on.
I got a new tape with Jay Stylin and Young Doe that's about to drop at the end of the month.
Come on.
It got stupid jams on it. And I also got a tape that I'm about to drop that I got Bodie James and Conway on it and some other heat from some local heat.
Talk
My
that
boy
shit.
Outlaw, MDM London. I got some real dope local talent that's about to drop right behind me, or not behind me, on the side of me, with me.
Right.
They go crazy. Let me shout out the boys at Concepts and Customs. They keep going crazy with the gear. I always love to shed light on them.
I'm gonna have to tap in.
They really put out, like, they put their heart into their work, and I love to see that. So I always want to try to just big up and lift everybody up around me. I love independent creators, man. There's nobody out here that can tell you shit. Like, guys that are getting it on their own and making their own rules, I love that shit. And I'm always going to try to come over and do what I can to help. So if you independent and you busting your moves and stuff like that, holler at me. I love to come tap in and help.
Come on, man. You heard it here on the Slept On podcast. I'm your host, Easthill Huey, and this was Anthony Danza. Again, we appreciate you coming down to the show, my brother.
Already.
All right.
Another day, another dollar, time to wake up, try to make more. I ain't perfect, I ain't judging how you make yours. Once you pick a journey, I would say just try to make sure it's really what you want. Ain't no returns on what you pray for. Another day, another dollar, time to wake up, try to make more. I ain't perfect, I ain't